Today, we're going to look at a massive update to one thing everyone hates most: battery life. If you're tired of your phone dying or your smartwatch needing a nightly charge, you need to hear about this new breathing battery technology out of China that literally uses light to recharge itself. Researchers of Dunghua University have developed a new type of zinc air battery that solves the two biggest problems in tech: battery life and flexibility. By using a special catalyst that reacts to light, they've created a battery that is safe, bendable, stays stable for 1,100 hours. This isn't just a better battery, it's potential replacement for lithium-ion that could power the next generation of wearable tech and renewable energy storage. Zinc air batteries, John, what do you think about these?
These are cool. I like this. So we've covered batteries in the past, but I don't think we've ever covered a metal air electrochemical cell like this. So this is cool. So zinc air batteries, they belong to a class of metal air electrochemical cells, and that generates electricity via the oxidation of zinc at the anode and the reduction of oxygen at the cathode using atmospheric oxygen as a reactant. So the architecture essentially gives them a high theoretical energy density and the potential for low cost, safety, and abundant raw materials, right? Which has many advantages over the current lithium-ion batteries. But slow oxygen electrochemistry and poor reaction kinetics at the air electrode, they've essentially limited their power density and cycling stability, which hinders commercial use in rechargeable applications. Now, the breakthrough lies in the design of the photo-enhanced electrocatalyst for the air electrode. So researchers, what they did was they integrated graphitic carbon nitride nanosheets with a carbon nanofiber network hosting dual cobalt-active sites. So specifically, the cobalt nanoparticles are encapsulated in carbon nanotubes and atomically dispersed. And so this arrangement forms a directional charge transfer when exposed to light, which is super, super cool. So under illumination, the photo-generated electrons flow through the conductive framework to drive the oxygen reduction reaction, or ORR, while the photo-generated holes facilitate the oxygen evolution reaction at the adjacent sites. So the spatial charge separation, it reduces energy barriers and it suppresses charge recombination. And that results in an unusually small overpotential gap of about 0.684 volts and enhanced kinetics for both oxygen reactions, which is a key limiting factor in metal air systems. I love the potential for this. And so they've overcome the bottleneck essentially, right? And this is huge. What are your thoughts?
You know, a standard zinc air battery that pulls oxygen from the air to generate power sounds great. And this new version adds light sensitivity layer, making the solar power mixed with the battery supercharges a chemical reaction, making it more powerful and efficient. I think this is great. You know, current lithium-ion batteries are rigid, flammable, degrade quickly. This new tech is flexible, can be bent, non-flammable, and holds a massive charge. So we could see this in wearables, smartwatches, health monitors that wrap comfortably around your wrist without bulky battery block, or more safely, no more thermal runway or exploding hoverboards that use safe water-based ingredients, or like e-bikes that exploding with those lithium ions. Devices that last 45 plus days on a single charge cycle implementation. Those things are all possible with this. So I'm loving the concept.
Yeah, me too. This is promising. So obviously there's scaling issues. And they're going to have to address anode degradation, zinc dendrite growth, and long-term cycle life. But they're common issues in metal air systems. But obviously, they're going to have to continue to develop catalysts, electrolytes, and electrode designs to get to some sort of a commercial deployment kind of state. But I think this has a lot of promise. Are we going to see it in the next couple of years? Doubtful. Are we going to see it in the next 5 to 10? Potentially.
And let's not forget that it relies on light assistance. So the impressive stats, 310 millowatts power density, happen when the battery is illuminated. We need to know how well it performs in a dark pocket or at night or in your room when the light's turned off. Making carbon nanofiber networks in a lab is one thing. Making millions of them for iPhones is a manufacturing nightmare that has yet to be solved. So I like the idea, but yeah, they do have some challenges to get over, but you know, the power density is good. It still does well when bent. It holds that stable charge for over 45 days. Actually uses the graphic carbon nitride you mentioned as a semiconductor that acts like a leaf to harvest light, allowing the battery to close that voltage gap and waste less energy. I'm really excited about this. This is the most promising step we've seen toward batteries that are actually safe enough to wear and efficient enough to power a green grid.
Yeah.
So is a battery that, go ahead.
No, I was just going to agree with you. Yeah.
So is a battery that eats light the future or just a cool lab trick? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and we'll keep watching this story closely. What do you got going on, John?
Just plugging away, helping companies with government funding, attending events, probably startup drinks or a Flowgrammer event. How about you, Craig?
Lots of stuff going on. I honestly don't know when this is going out. I have to check. I think it's going to go out in April. But there's all sorts of stuff going on. If you don't know about OpenClaw, it's the latest AI automation agent that's taken the world by storm in 2026. And OpenClaw Toronto chapter just launched. And we have all sorts of events going on. So check out openclawto.com. Our first demo night is April 14th. We have a Builder Cafe on April 10th. We have a bunch of other events. There's updates every day. We've deconstructed the latest 2 betas over the weekend that was launched in OpenClaw and what you should do about them. There's a bunch of articles over there. Go check that out. We're also over at flowgrammer.ca where we do N8N automations. We run the Flowgrammer community and do Builders Hub and connectivity for AI and business automation agents. And for everything else, head over to Toronto Starts where we hook up startups and investors at our Startup Investor Drinks. We do mentoring, we do workshops, we have a list of investors. There's a whole bunch of content over. You can also book me over there if you want a meeting with me to talk about whatever, help your startup. Check out torontostarts.com. But John, if people are looking for non-dilutive funding, where should they go and what is that?
Yeah, non-dilutive funding. We're talking government grants, tax credits. Come find me on LinkedIn if you have any questions. Right now is shred time, SRNED. But come reach out to me too. If you've got a startup, if you've got a company, reach out to me if you have any questions. And if they have company questions about their startup in general, where do they find you, Craig?
Yeah, find me at torontostarts.com. But John, just before we go, something's open right now, and it's closing May 31st. Thank you. Can Export. And what?
Yeah. So
what
if
should
you have
people
at
know
least
about that?
300,000 in revenue in the previous year, and you're looking to expand outside of Canada, reach out to me, and we can put together. We can talk about an application for Can Export.
All the links we talked about will be in the show notes wherever you're watching this. Thanks for watching, everybody. Leave us a comment, give us a like, give us a subscribe. We really appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.